Right, well, true to form, we're back to standard British weather. So when you want to do anything outdoors, it starts to rain. But what I wanted to cover in this video is just what I do on some of my Sundays, not every Sunday. Maybe it's once or twice a month. And that's archery practice. Now the great in Great Britain probably came about through the laws on archery from 1200 and odd right up to Queen Victoria's reign, where it was law that all able-bodied peasants practiced archery at least once a week, mostly on a Sunday after church and bank holidays. So I try and hold up the traditions, and a few Sundays a month, or at least one anyway, I go and practice with this, which is it's a compound bow, as you can tell by the cams on it, and it's Mission or Mathews Craze, which is it's basically a beginner's bow, and it's really aimed at children, or your first bow that you can grow up with, because it's very configurable. It's got adjustable poundage, the effort it takes to pull it back, and adjustable draw length, the amount that you bring it back before the cams come in and ease off the pressure. But it's good enough for me because I don't shoot that much. It's an American bow, and it is really essentially a hunting bow, but hunting in this country is not allowed. So I just use it as a target bow, but it's a small, I can just take it out the bag. The only thing I have to put on is this stabilizer, and you can shoot it without this, but it does make it slightly more accurate with it on. It just screws on, screws off. So more or less out of the bag it's good to go. I don't have to put sights on it or adjust it anywhere. Because it is a compound bow, you don't pull it back with your fingers. Pulling it back with the fingers will risk derailing the cams, but you pull it back with a trigger release, which also makes it easy for loosing the arrow. And it simply is a trigger. There's a little hook there that hooks round a loop on the string, which is conveniently placed so your arrow sits inside that loop and sits at the same place every time. That just hooks around that, and then you just, I should warm up before I do this, because it does take a little bit of effort to pull this back. And then it just comes back to the same point, and if I touch that big silver knob with my thumb, that would release the arrow. Now, because of the action of the cams, the poundage comes off as you draw back the bow. So when I let this forward, all that poundage is going to come back on again, and there we go. So if I were to release it, I'd just click that with my thumb and bang, the arrow's away. And it's held in place through this, what's called whisker biscuit, and it'll just fly off the string and out there towards the target. You've got sights on it. You've got a rear peep sight there, and this sight on the front, which has 5 little individual sights on it. So as you're if you know your range, you can use whatever sight's appropriate for the range you're at. That's the peep sight on the back, just in the string itself. And it's adjustable both in the poundage through this bolt here. Currently it's set on about 50 pounds, and it's adjustable on the draw length, the distance you pull it back on the cam here, from 19 inches up to 30 inches. I've got it set on 28, so as you can see, most of the adjustment is for a person smaller than me, i.e. a child. But it is a hunting bow. It's got a lot of disadvantages. It's not as accurate as a target bow would be, and it's not as accurate as a larger, more expensive hunting bow would be. But at the distances I shoot it at, 25 to 30, and sometimes for a laugh out to 50 yards. I have actually shot it at 80 yards, but I'm not going to hit much at 80 yards. I don't hit that much at 25 yards. Anyway, I was out with it yesterday, so you'll see that. And unfortunately yesterday it wasn't actually blowing a gale, but it was very windy, so you won't see much stunning archery going on. The arrows I'm using, these are longer than they need to be. I've not cut them to length or anything. The spine on these is 340, which is, the spine is the stiffness of an arrow. These are aluminium arrows, and they're probably a little stiffer than they need to be, so I'll just leave them at the length they are. They fly alright at the length they are. Well, at my standards they do anyway. And the only other thing is an arm guard, which I find I don't need with this, but with another bow I've got, a recurve bow, it does stop the string from taking the skin off your arm or catching on any clothing you've got. So that's what I get up to 1 or 2 Sundays a month. And as I say, it used to be compulsory in this country when we had long bows, and it probably resulted in putting the great in Great Britain. So, off to the range. Go forward after your next shot, chaps. Clear? Cheers. ready this end, yeah.